Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your April 2012 mid-month general readings. We are looking at the last 2 weeks of April 2021, and this reading is for the air sign of Aquarius. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're all well wherever you're at. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video and for all that you do, excuse me, in support of this channel. Even if it's just taking the time to watch the videos, hit that subscribe button. It really does help. Thanks for your likes and your shares, your donations, support, feedback, comments, reaching out for personal readings. All welcome and appreciated. Thank you. So this reading is for the air sign of Aquarius for the last 2 weeks of April 2021. That's if your sun sign, moon, rising, or Venus sign is an Aquarius. It's also relevant if you're cross-watching for an Aquarian. Of course, it's a general reading, so it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone in the details and specifics, although the fundamental energy remains the same. So watch all of your signs for additional insight and perspective if you know them. And if you find that any of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, maybe take a deeper look at something, you can click on the description link below, click on the little arrow. You'll see some contact details for me. My email address, maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. Feel free to email me directly. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond within the same day with more information. I do offer a wide variety of readings and overviews in all areas of life. And I do readings full-time. It's all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent about the timing and getting those personal readings set up. So email me if you're interested. I'd be happy to hear from you. Okay, Aquarius. Let's take a look at what the last 2 weeks of April have in store for you. I'm using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with, I think it's Gateway to the Divine. Okay, Aquarius. We begin with the Ace of Wands, followed by the Four of Wands, the Fool, followed by the Five of Swords, the Devil, followed by the Ten of Swords, I'm not liking this top row of cards. It feels foolish, risky, foolhardy. From the bottom of the deck, representing overall energy and focus, we have the Eight of Coins. I'm going to pull one more with Temperance. Aquarius, I'm going to clarify some of these cards, but it feels like you're almost obsessively, foolishly focused on finding different ways or working really hard to create balance in something that doesn't look like it's going to balance out. I mean, the overall energy is the Eight of Coins, which is the nose to the grindstone, worker bee, working hard, repetitive work over and over again, putting a lot of effort into something. And Temperance is a card of balance, of being grounded, of holding opposite extremes in unison and harmony. So simplistically, for the last 2 weeks of April, it's working hard to bring balance, or you're being called to work hard to bring balance to something. But it feels like you're just trying a different way to attack something that isn't working, is kind of what I'm getting. I mean, we have the Ace of Wands with the Four of Wands, which on its own would be a pretty positive combination of cards. This is the beginning of action, creative inspiration, passion, enthusiasm. You know, it's the aces represent number one, a new beginning or a new opportunity. This one's fueled by fire, very exciting. The Four of Wands is one of the happy homes, family events. Cards, the 1111 card. So an exciting new beginning, moving very quickly into something. It might be it could be. The Four of Wands can represent a lot of different things. Marriages, get-togethers that include friends and family. So this could be trying to make plans to get together with family or have some kind of family or friend group organization or something. Perhaps you've tried it before and it didn't work. I mean, considering everything we've gone through in the last year. But I feel like it's tackling something that either didn't work before or hasn't been working, and you're just trying to find another way. It feels like throwing yourself at a brick wall. We have the Fool and the Five of Swords here, which I don't really like because the Fool is starting off on a brand new journey. But it feels like you're rushing into something, stepping off the beaten path, taking a risk. One of the drawbacks to the Fool is that he's not concerned with what the journey or road is going to be like or the final destination. He's just excited to start. He's not thinking about any of that other practical stuff. And the Five of Swords can represent a hard-won victory, but it represents winning at all costs as well. And the thing that kind of clinches it, I mean, we have this really passionate, fire-fueled start here, rushing off to do something. The Fool exacerbates that tenfold because he's also not considering consequences or outcomes or planning or anything like that. And then right next to that on the top row, we have the Devil. I mean, the Devil next to the Fool is not a good combination. This represents rushing off into something that without regard to consequences or planning or outcome, that's very risky and very foolhardy, because the Devil can represent addictions, obsessive energy, negative toxic cycles, which, you know, are not healthy for us because we do them to such an obsessive degree. But there's something very alluring and tempting in it, which makes it difficult to break free from, which is kind of the nature of addiction itself. For some of you for whom this might be a classical addiction, like drugs, alcohol, something like that, it feels like you're trying to find a different way of dealing with an issue that needs to be just broken and left completely, not managed, you know. For example, this might represent somebody who has a drinking problem and says, well, I'm going to try this new diet, or I'm only going to drink after 5 p.m., or I'm only going to, you know, and it feels like, what it feels like here is rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic is what it feels like, Aquarius. And you're being called to bring balance to something because the Devil and Temperance are two completely opposite energy cards. The Devil is about the opposite of balance, imbalance. It's too much obsessive energy and focus in one area to the detriment and brokenness of everything else around it. And Temperance is about staying grounded and not being spontaneous or impulsive, knowing what the right path is and kind of going step by step. You're being called to put work and effort into doing that. Some of you may be, you know, but here we have the Ace of Wands and the Fool and the Devil. This is the opposite of that. This is rushing forward into something. And the Devil is a strong indication that this is a cycle that you've been caught up in for some time. Because the Devil doesn't appear overnight. The Devil is cyclical, negative, toxic energy. Whether this is, you know, drugs, alcohol, gambling, work, shopping, you know, bad financial decisions, bad relationship decisions. I mean, you know, this is a general reading. So what the nature of the Devil card is, this toxic cycle, this tempting toxic cycle, is going to vary, right? Some of you, it might be relationship decisions. Some of you, it might be money. Some of you, it might be actual substance abuse. But this is circular energy, and it's like you're off and running again on, oh, so I found something else and this will fix it and this will work, but you keep getting and you just, it's like obsessively focused on this, but it's not going to work, and it needs to be broken. We have the Ten of Swords here, which is betrayal and disappointment and the end of a negative cycle. I mean, this obviously needs to come to an end. You're being called to bring balance to this. Let's clarify the Ace of Wands and the Four of Wands. For some of you, for a lot of you, home and family, or home and family and friends, is involved in this somehow, because the Four of Wands is, the 1111 card. It has a strong connection to family and friends and social events or gatherings or get-togethers with family and friends that make you feel, just really grateful for the opportunity to kind of connect with the people that are your people, right? It can represent marriages, weddings, anniversaries, birthdays, get-togethers, formal get-togethers, casual get-togethers. It's like there's some kind of idea and you go rushing off and you're just determined, you're hell-bent and set on this particular thing, but it feels really unwise. I mean, the Fool and the Devil is like not looking in the pool to make sure there's water before you jump, right? Clarify the Ace of Wands and Four of Wands. The Seven of Cups, fantasy, illusion, daydreaming, building castles in the sky. We all start with dreams. There's nothing wrong with having dreams, but this is not a realistic card. This is a dreamy, illusionary, only seeing the best of what something could be, the best possible way things could work out, and not considering any of the practical implications or consequences or things that need to happen around it. Here we have the Devil again. This is like being really foolhardy. One could say irresponsible, but again, it's like you have something fixated in your head and nothing else will do, and this is the thing, and this is going to work, and I'm going to do whatever I can to make this work. This is how I'm going to, this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to throw myself at it until it gets done or something. The Ten of Pentacles, long-term stability and security, family home, family money, family business. But then we have the Three of Swords again, heartache, heartbreak, heartache. The Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords. I mean, regardless of what the issue is, again, this Devil card energy can represent a variety of different things in a general reading. It's going to vary depending on what's going on in the lives of the people who watch this. But this is not going to work. This is throwing yourself at something or a new something to deal with some old problem or something which hasn't worked before, and you're so obsessively focused on it, but it's unrealistic. It's rushing in to do something without reading the fine print or considering things, and it looks like something that you've done before, or the way that you're doing it is a pattern. It's an obsessive pattern. Clarify the Fool and the Five of Swords. The Fool and the Five of Swords is like, I'm starting this thing, I'm going to do this thing no matter what. But the thing is that there's disappointment and letdown, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I'm right back at the same place again. And the overall energy being Temperance and the Eight of Coins, you're being called to invest the effort into bringing balance to this situation. You can't, and by balance, I mean breaking a cycle, because you can't balance out the Devil card energy. You can't manage the Devil card energy. Its very nature is obsessive. Clarify the Fool and the Five of Swords. The only way to break free, to get out of the cage, is to walk away for good, right? Is to break that cycle for good. The Devil is the opposite of moderation. You cannot moderate the Devil card energy. The Three of Cups, very social card, also includes friends, kindred spirits, partying, drinking. The Eight of Wands, rushing forward very quickly, perhaps travel. The Sun, fun, life, love, warmth, laughter, partying, traveling. Again, on their own, lovely energy, going on vacation, planning a party where you're going to get together and drink and just be fun and forget everything. But there's something about this that is strongly indicating this is part of an obsessive, negative, unhealthy, toxic cycle or a pattern of behaving and choices. Clarify the Devil and the Ten of Swords. Again, it's not really possible to clarify that Devil in a general reading because it could mean so many different things to so many different people. Let's just say negative toxic cycles or negative toxic patterns or ways of making choices that just don't seem to work out. But something else comes up and all of a sudden you're obsessed with that one thing and you're off and running without really thinking about it, thinking it through, planning, anything like that. Cards just jumped out. So the Devil and the Ten of Swords, once again betrayed or once again disappointed with somebody else, with yourself. The Five of Cups, sorrow over what is lost or what hasn't happened. The Four of Pentacles, being closed off, guarded, somebody not giving or just feeling like you don't have enough. And the World, this must come to an end. The World, the Fool is the first major arcana card in the tarot. The World is the last. This is about learning everything that you have needed to learn in this particular cycle of your life, graduating, leveling up, and moving on to something else. I feel, Aquarius, and I hope this just doesn't come across as too lecturing or patronizing, but I feel, Aquarius, that you're being called to break an old cycle and that it's time for you to break it. You're being called to kind of level up and get out of this cyclical nature of whatever this is or ways of making decisions here. Because, you know, and forewarned is forearmed. That's why we do these readings. So I understand that the nature of this Devil card is tempting. I mean, addiction wouldn't work if there wasn't something that we got out of it that felt so good, right? But it's obsessive. It's too much. It can't be moderated. And so the only way to break free from it is to leave it behind. You can't manage it. You can't moderate it. You can't fool yourself into thinking, oh, it's going to be different this time, you know, because it can't. That's the nature of the Seven of Cups and the Devil. Oh, it'll be different this time. Oh, it'll be this perfect thing. And it's not. The Fool and the Devil here at the top. Oh, I'm so excited to do this. And you're not thinking it through. You're not thinking it through because the outcome is the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords. I mean, I don't like seeing these in any reading for anything, whether it's relationship or work or money, you know, whatever area of your life this is affecting, Aquarius. I mean, free will, free agency, right? But don't do this thing that's drawing you back or, you know, tempting you with yet another new thing. It's not new. It's the same old thing, maybe disguised with different wrapping paper. But when you open it up, it's the same thing. When you cut into that beautiful cardboard cake, there's nothing inside of it. It can't nourish you. It can't sustain you. It can't bring you health and happiness, right? Whatever this is. So I think I'm going to just end with asking for some advice and guidance from Spirit for you. I think I just mixed up two decks. No, I'm good. Okay, this one goes back here. This one goes here. Okay. Advice and guidance for Aquarius in regards to this issue for the last 2 weeks of April. Four of Swords. Take a step back. Recover, recuperate, gain a different perspective. The Two of Wands. You're at a crossroads. It's time to make a decision. The Six of Swords. There must be healing. And the only way that healing can occur is to move yourself away from the source of the pain, the sickness, the unhealth, etc., to begin that journey. The Six of Wands, victory and triumph after a struggle, public recognition. As advice, this can also be to connect with and surround yourself with like-minded people or people who have triumphed over this before, or can be a good support system for you as well. Couple more cards, advice and guidance for Aquarius. The Tower. Let it fall down. Let it crumble. It needs to. There's a fundamentally fatal flaw in this. That's the nature of the Devil card. The Seven of Wands in reverse. In the upright, it's defending. It's holding on. You need to let go. Because this burden is too heavy for you. Ten of Wands. It's time for it to end. Tens represent cycle ending. This is too heavy. Stop carrying this. Let it go. Drop it. The Ten of Swords. This needs to come to an end. It cannot be more clear. And it feels like too, and of course this is a general reading, and the intensity of this is going to vary, but I feel like for some of you this is a very serious, potentially harmful situation and issue. So, you know, get help too, or surround yourself with people who are a really good support system for you. So Aquarius, that is your reading for the last 2 weeks of April. I hope that even though it wasn't the most sunshiny sort of reading, I hope that it brought some clarity and some helpful food for thought, at least, because that's why we do these. Again, if any of these readings resonate with you, if you'd like to reach out and take a deeper look at something, feel free to email me directly, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you and to work with you. You can also get that info by clicking on the description link below. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the May general readings. Until then, stay safe and well, be blessed, be strong. Hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.